أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا وسهلا بكم بحلقة جديدة من برنامج موفرز أند شيكرز. معكم مع مقدم ومعد البرنامج نيك نجار، وكالمعتاد التلفزيون MEA بيآزر البرنامج، وعندنا ضيوف ويانا دائما. عندنا كل أسبوع عندنا ضيف ويانا. ضيفنا اليوم السيد ديفيد هندرسون اللي مرشح نفسه لمنصب مير أو محافظ مدينة تروي في ولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية. الانتخابات راح تكون يوم 5/11/2019 في كافة مناطق ولاية ميشيغان لاختيار أعضاء مجلس البلدية في عدة مدن، من ضمنها مدينة تروي. مدينة تروي تقع في مقاطعة أوكلاند كاونتي. ويانا السيد ديف هندرسون راح نتحدث إلى ليش مرشح نفسه وشنو أسباب ترشيح نفسه وشنو الخدمات راح يقدموها للمدينة للمواطنين. فإن شاء الله خلال المقابلة راح نسمع إلى السيد ديف هندرسون شو راح يقول لنا عن مدينة تروي. Dave, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I know it's election in less than a couple of weeks.
12 days.
12 days. I just mentioned it. They said the election is in November 5th.
November 5th.
It's going to open, the poll's going to open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Right.
So people there, but this year we have something different. People that can vote absentee, they don't have to have a reason to vote absentees. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the law changed. We have in the city of Troy a little over 10,000 applications that have already been mailed out for absentee ballots, which is about double what we usually get in an entire election. And you can get your absentee ballot up until the day
of that election.
So it makes it really, really easy to get out and vote.
Yeah. أعزائي المشاهدين، السيد ديف يقول سابقا كان الشخص اللي عمره أكثر من 62 سنة أو يخدم بالجيش الأمريكي أو يشتغل خارج ولاية ميشيغان فقط يقدر يرشح عن طريق التسجيل الغيابي أو التصويت الغيابي. حاليا لغى هذا القانون. أي شخص في أي عمر في أي موقع في أي وقت ممكن يصوت غيابيا. فالأشخاص اللي ما يقدرون يروحون يوم 5/11 إلى صناديق الاقتراع ممكن عن طريق البريد، ممكن يتصلون بالسيتي كليرك او سكرتري اوف ستيت يخابروهم، ياخذون الاوراق من عندهم مال الانتخابات، يصوتون يدزوها عن طريق البريد او يذبوها بنفسهم قبل الانتخابات. يقول انه بالاول كان تجينا 5000 شخص كان يصوت، حاليا لحد الان عندهم اكثر من 10,000 شخص صوتوا للانتخابات. Dave, you've been in the city council for how many years?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
And you're running for city mayor of Troy.
That's correct.
Why you are running?
Well, our current mayor, Dane Slater, is term limited. You get two 4-year terms as mayor.
Yes.
And so his term is up, and my second term as council is up. So I thought this is a good opportunity for me to take.
So the city council and mayor, they have term limits.
Yes.
So each one will get 4 years each time, each term. So 8 years. So if you are not running, you'll be retired.
Well, if I wasn't running, city council members get 3 4-year terms.
Oh,
so
3.
I can run for one more.
One more.
But mayor only gets 2.
Mayors get 2, the city council get 3.
But since my cycle is up, I thought this was a good opportunity.
How many members in the city council of Troy?
7 members, including the mayor.
So 6 and plus the mayor, just like Sterling Heights,
Yes.
exactly the same. The mayoral job and city council, they're not a full-time job in city of Troy. You have the city manager run day by day, day to day,
Yes.
the activities and the services in the city.
Yes.
So the city council normally and the mayor, what they do exactly?
Well, so we are charged with attending 2 meetings a month. Typically Mondays, about every other Monday, and then we discuss all the city business, budgets, proclamations for new businesses, people that have been in the community for a long period of time that have businesses. But in addition to that, we attend, I know the mayor and I have attended a lot of grand openings for brand new businesses, ribbon cuts. We attend a lot of the Troy Community Coalition functions, just about anything you can imagine out there that...
You support the businesses in the city, you support the community.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of you during the week, you meet with your citizen of your city. Maybe you have a coffee shop you go to the coffee with them, or you sit at a town hall meeting with them.
Yes.
And you listen to their problems and you listen to what they concern them.
Right.
That's what normally people, they think is only twice a month. You go there,
Right.
sit in a meeting a couple of hours.
Oh, I get emailed, many emails a week, a lot of phone calls, Yeah, it's not a full-time job, but it occupies a lot of time.
And I heard city council and the mayor, each one of them get $150,000 a month salary. Is that true?
No, that's way not true. Boy, I wish. No, what we earn is about $170 a month.
$170.
So about $2,100 a year, each member, even including the mayor.
Yes, I was just joking
I know.
because I know there's you are the lowest city. I think they pay for the city council and the mayor.
Sterling Heights, I think.
No, they get
even
more.
Makes $20,000.
No, the city
so,
council
right?
they make 17,000. The mayor make $21,000 in the Sterling Heights. I know the Warren, their full-time mayor, and Friendly, I think the full-time mayor. Shelby is a supervisor, run the city. I know this. Rochester Hills is a city manager run the city. I think it's not the mayor. Barnett, he don't run.
Yeah.
Barnett
I
does
know
not.
Brian,
Yeah, he don't run the city, but he's there. A lot of people they have different idea about if you are city council or the mayor, even you are not there minute by minute. I know the city manager run the city, but you are in charge of hiring the city manager.
Right.
You are in charge of hiring the chief of police, I think, and all the head of the departments.
So we're in charge of hiring the city manager and the city attorney. The city manager actually hires the chief of police.
Okay.
So, but our direct reports are the city manager and the city attorney.
But anytime there's an issue with there's an issue in the city with the police or the fire, you are step in and to talk about it and take
Yes,
an initiative.
We get updates periodically about anything that happens in the city of Troy.
So when something happened, for example, a big beaver or something, the city manager or somebody from the city, they contact the city council and the mayor, they update you?
Well, it depends on the severity. You know, if it's a routine fire
Yeah.
or, you know, accident or whatnot, it's handled internally. But yeah, if there's a big calamity or situation that pops up, yes, we get updated rather quickly from the city manager.
Sure. We were talking before the show. You are a father and grandfather.
Yes.
So with that, beside that, let's talk about your business. Then we're going to go to family. What's your background in your business background?
My business background, so I attended Troy schools. I graduated from Athens High School in Troy in 1979. I went to a trade school. I'm an auto mechanic by trade. I was certified in all aspects of auto repair. I moved from there into franchise sales with an automotive related company. So I sold businesses for a number of years, and most recently I'm a residential realtor. A lot of my commercial transactions in real estate through the franchise development made sense with regard to the retail real estate.
So you're my competition now.
I'm your competition. Correct. We're very friendly competition.
Very friendly competition. I like that. I like. So at this time you are a full-time agent, realtors,
Yes.
full-time agent, real estate agent. Okay, you're for real estate agents a lot of hours. We work very long hours,
Right.
and with the city council and with the family, how we manage to put all this together?
Well, over 8 years, it's been a little bit of a challenge. You know, there's a lot of balances. You know, you have a barbecue in the backyard on Sunday afternoon, and the phone rings, and you have to go show a house. So, you know, there are things that pull you away from family. But my family is wonderful. They understand all the things that pull on me as a professional and as a reluctant politician. But you know, it's easy to put it all together. With real estate, you know how flexible your schedule can be. I have much more flexibility than most people in this position. You know, a lot of people on council have full-time jobs, 9 to 5 during the day. They can't come away for a 12 o'clock ribbon cut. I can do that typically because my schedule is flexible.
See, my wife, she's a federal employee. She don't work weekends. And always when people call me on Saturdays and Sundays, she said, I don't understand why you going showing homes in the weekend? Why you showing homes after 7 p.m.? I always tell her, you know, we are not a government employee, number one.
Right.
So number two, when people leave their work at 5 o'clock or weekend they don't work, they need to go out, look at the homes or business or whatever they need. So they keep us busy on weekends.
We have to be available when they're available, and that's typically after.
And I sometimes happen in the summer, I try to do a little event at my house in the backyard. People keep calling me, and if I don't answer, they get mad at me. They think we work 24/7. You know,
Right.
that's the problem of the life of realtors.
Right.
Okay, what's Tell us a little bit about your accomplishment.
So, in the last 8
In the
years,
city,
in
well,
the
yeah,
city,
yeah.
yeah. In the last 8 years, we've done a number of things to enhance the community. I was placed on the retirement board for the city. It was generally a stock picking group. They had about $200 million of our taxpayer funds in an account, and they would pick stocks with it. And when I got on this board, I realized that there's a lot more liability with $200 million than that situation would make sense for. So I worked for about a year and a half, almost 2 years it took, to get $200 million into a managed account with a company. And now that fund is well over $200 million, and we're about last check, about 106% funded in our retirement. So that's pretty spectacular for a city our size to be that well funded. MJR Theater, that was an old Kmart store that was
15 on Livernois.
Yep.
Maple and Livernois.
Maple. My wife and I met at that Kmart store working together.
Mm.
So that store had a particular tragedy that occurred, and a friend of mine is an investor with MJR Theaters, and I just mentioned it to him. I said, why don't you do something at that corner? And within a couple of weeks, we got the property owner and MJR Theaters management together. We talked about it, and within about 2 days, they hammered out a $16 million project there. So
Yeah, it's beautiful.
it's a great theater.
It's very nice. I sold the car wash next to it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
South of
that
next
car
door.
wash.
I sold that car wash a few years ago.
Yeah.
What is some of things you want to accomplish next 4 years? If you be elected as a mayor,
If I'm so lucky.
you will be elected. I blessed you.
Thank
When
you
I
so
bless somebody, you get elected.
Great.
I'm a very religious person, so I bless the people. What do you want to accomplish next 4 years?
Well, there's a lot of things that are on people's minds right now. The economy is so strong and robust today that developers are buying up every piece of property, not just in Troy, Rochester Hills, Sterling Heights, all of our surrounding communities. And so the concerns are obvious. The green space is all disappearing, and things that properties next to people like you and I, our properties, these trees and wooded areas are disappearing because people are developing houses. So, how do we pull that back in a great economy? When the economy tanks, it becomes easier because developers don't want to spend any money. So, that's a natural stop. But we need to talk about how these transition areas in our city affect neighboring neighborhoods, subdivisions, and try to make a better product between existing neighbors and vacant lots to just make those projects more hospitable with each other. And that's kind of my goal. I want to address our master plan to make sure that we're doing the best that we can as a community to address our needs.
Troy is one of the fast-growing city, very fast. Number one is location. It's close to 75, close to M59. If you want to go downtown, you just jump on 75.
Right.
You're 10, 15 minutes, you're there. If you want to go west side, West Bloomfield, Wixom, you just take M59, you are there, or Big Beaver,
Right.
or Quarton, or whatever you call it, multiple names.
Right.
If you want to go to St. Clair Shore, you just jump to 696, you are there. If you want to go up north, you jump in 75, you are
We are
everywhere.
very convenient to everywhere.
Very convenient. That's number one. Number two, because my office for many, many, many years located in the city of Troy, and always I see city of Troy, they update it all the time. There's services. The service of the city is great. Beside all that, the schools for families. I sell a lot of homes of Troy. One thing they ask me, that Troy High School or other schools in Troy, that's one of the point they draw a lot of people, whoever they have children, they come because the graduation is 96 to 98%. The Troy is one of the top city schools, district. So people love city of Troy for their kids' education, the services. Now Big Beaver becoming a downtown.
Right.
Every single restaurant you imagine, high end or low end,
Right.
you'll find it there. Many hotels, they build shopping centers. They building it like hotcakes. And
You will not starve in the city of Troy.
no,
You're
never.
gonna find a good place to eat
Between John R. and Coolidge, you'll find everything.
Everything,
You'll
yeah.
find everything. Now they expand. The property value is going crazy. The property value commercial property value is going crazy.
Right.
They're building all these hotels, all high-rise buildings.
Right.
Now the 75, they're fixing the 75. So the city of Troy draw people to come to the city and buy the property. Even they pay sometimes a lot more money than surrounding cities and a little bit higher taxes, but still people, they love it because the education system, because the location,
Right.
and they can work in downtown and live in Troy. They can work anywhere while living in Troy. That's a great location, convenient to everywhere. Beside the city hall, when you walk in, the employee of the city hall is very friendly. I walked a lot of times. I go to the building department, zoning department. I go to assessing department. The people there are very friendly. I like the smile on their face when you walk in. That's a great thing. You can get there.
I'm glad you say that, because when I walk in, they're very friendly too, and I hope to think it's not just
No.
the fact that I'm on city council,
I
but
visit
that's good.
the city hall a lot of times, and I always go to the Troy Days. You have the park in September every year, the bowling parks. You have there. Actually, my son built a lot of homes in Troy. He's very happy with the city building department and zoning department. He's very happy with them. Some cities, they give him a hard time. He built a lot of homes, high-end homes in the city of Troy. So that's very important. You walk to the city. If they refer you, if they don't do what they want when you want, they send you somewhere else. They tell you where to go. And the people take the time and sit with you. I love the building department and zoning department, engineering. I deal with them a lot because through my job, because we work in the buildings, so we need these people. So that's a great thing. Hopefully one day we can get together and I come, if they allowed, I'll buy them a lunch, because not because of any reason, because they are friendly and they deserve it. Really, they need applause.
They do a tremendous job.
Exactly.
When we do a ribbon cutter grand opening in the last several years that I've been associated with City Council, we get high marks about the process from start to finish. And selling franchises in my past history, I understand it takes a couple of years sometimes for somebody from idea to opening their doors. There's a lot of work that goes in between there, and so for us to put any stumbling blocks in front of them would be unfair. So I appreciate that the city.
Sure, they are doing a good job. I'm very, very pleased. Personally, I'm very pleased. I'm not bragging about the city hall, because every time I walk in, my son walk in there, they are very friendly, and I hear it from a lot of people, not only us personally. Beside the city council and the mayor, you have a lot of committees. Our community, we have big community in the city of Troy. The Chaldean community, the Middle Eastern community, the Indian communities, a lot of people, they live in Troy. Troy is a very diversified city. We have a lot of nationalities, a lot of language spoken in the city of Troy.
Over 80 languages.
It's spoken in the city of Troy. For our Middle Eastern community, the Chaldean, the Assyrian, and the Arabs, how you encourage them to get involved in the committee like zoning, planning, all the committees you have there? How you encourage them with that?
Well, the same way I would encourage anybody in the city of Troy to get involved.
Yeah.
We have open arms for anybody that wants to get involved in any of the committees. So there are 2 or 3 committees that only the mayor appoints, and there are several committees that everybody else on council can appoint. Planning Commission is one that the mayor appoints. The DDA, which we talked about earlier, you have to be a business owner on Big Beaver,
Big
to
Beaver,
be
yes.
a part of that, but that's a mayoral appointment.
Actually, I was, when my office was Big Beaver, Livernois, I was in DDA. When I moved to the office where I am today, they told me you cannot be, because you don't live in the city of Troy, and your office should be at Big Beaver.
Big Beaver.
So they can say they fire me.
Well, there's a reason for that, right? If you have to make decisions about that Big Beaver corridor and the Big Beaver district, then you should have an attachment to it somehow. So I can appreciate that. Nothing.
No, I understand.
Right?
Mayor Matt Pryor at that time explained to me. He said, you have to be at your office here. Now your office moved. You're not the residents of Troy, and you live in your office at Maple, and not on Big Beaver, so you cannot be there. But I was, when I used to live in Sterling Heights, I was 6 years. I served in the planning the committee, and 6 years on the zoning committee.
Right.
And I served for 3 years in outreach committee or community committee. So there's a lot of committees like beautification, like there's many committees, not only zoning and
If
planning.
you're interested in getting involved in a committee at any level or any style of committee, feel free to reach out to me or anybody else on council and express that need. City clerk's office has all that information
Applications,
as well,
yeah.
applications and so forth, and we'll absolutely consider we always are reaching out trying to find people that come on committees, because you spend a certain amount of time on a committee, and for whatever reason your lifestyle changes, you can't afford the time anymore after a 2 or 3 year spell, and you disappear, and now we have to fill that spot. So it's a continuous
Exactly.
effort to try to get good quality people in.
Yeah, in the city of Troy, I said, one of the people who get involved in it, they are very happy because the city is prosper, and you have there's nothing. The crime is very low, very minimum to the minimum. I think one of the safe city under 100,000 people in the state of Michigan. By the way, how many citizens live in population? Is that 85? Still 85?
It's right around 85. I think the last census was about 82, but I know we've grown, and
so next year we'll know better.
We'll know for sure.
Next year we'll know better. That's. But for the size of the city, it's in Oakland County, next to the Macomb County, in the border of Macomb County, and I know one thing is Troy is involved in the DeQuinder. And anything happened in DeQuinder, why Troy and why not Sterling Heights and Troy? What is the reason every time they widen the road or fix on the road was Troy and Oakland County involved?
Well, we have to get, so that's the border between the two counties.
Yes.
So whenever there's a project like the DeQuinder Road project, Troy has to participate financially, Sterling Heights has to participate financially, and naturally you got two counties now that you have to get financially involved, in the state. So there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to trying to make a big project like.
So I have a question always. When an accident happened on DeQuinder, who they call Troy or Sterling Heights?
It depends on who's on the phone. I mean, so if you and I observe an accident, you might, if you lived over in Sterling Heights, you might call Sterling Heights police because maybe they're on a speed dial on the phone. I might call Troy police. So
I see.
And I think our first responders are pretty good about those kind of things. Dispatch will send probably the closest vehicles that can respond to that situation. So
yeah, the city of Troy last for 5 years, they have a lot of projects. They have Children's Hospital and Big Beaver. They have what they call the Crooks, the building 8888.
Right.
They did 3-4 restaurants there. They keep opening all this business. Now they're spilling out of the Big Beaver because there's no more room in Big Beaver.
Right.
And the prices of property is going crazy there.
Yeah.
So they're moving up either north or south of that. In residential, I don't think there's any more lots left in the city of Troy. I don't think there's a piece of 5 acre or 10 acre left.
No, I just talked to a gentleman about 3 weeks ago during Troy Family Days, and his family has owned this piece of property. It's about 4 acres on John R., and they just recently moved to Rochester Hills and sold their family's homestead and 4 acres to a developer that's going to come in and put some homes there. So
yeah, because you hardly can find. Yeah, there's no more big piece of properties. I have a lot of builders. They ask me if I can find them 5, 10, 15 acre. I checked. I could not find anything.
No.
There's not much left there.
Yeah, it's very difficult. But we have some areas in Troy. One specifically that's come to us in the last few months. The lot sizes are about 300 feet deep. So we have builders that are buying 2 or 3 homes next to each other.
Yeah.
And finding these large development opportunities. And those are the things that we have to grapple with and try to make sure that the projects that go in there are compatible with the neighborhoods.
Yeah, what happened is as I told you, my son is a builder at the 16.5 mile on Crooks, bought by next to the cemetery, the Bolden Park area. He bought a house, very old house, 600 square feet. He knocked it down, cost him $220,000.
Right.
He knocked it down, he built a house over $1 million there.
Yeah.
So that's good for the city because now these people there, old people there paying very little taxes.
Right.
Now you have a mansion there, the triple or quadruple the taxes there. It's good for the city too.
I use this terminology a lot. High tide rises all ships.
Yeah.
When you have homes that surround you that increase their value, their property values, it brings everybody else's values up. You know that as a realtor.
Sure.
So
They watching the show. We chit chat, me and you, about real estate, about politics, about everything. The reason I like Troy because I was very involved. I'm still a little bit involved there and there. So my office still in Troy. If people they're watching today said, okay, Dave Henderson, we like to vote for Dave. How we can reach Dave? If we have a question for Dave, how we can reach him? How they can reach you?
well, the best ways to reach me, I have my cell phone I've had since 1995.
Can you mention the phone number?
Area code 248-321-0151. I don't always pick it up, but if you leave a message, I will always call back.
I always tell people, please do not depend on the missed call. Always leave a message.
Leave a message.
أعزائي المشاهدين، حديثنا مع السيد ديف هندرسون، عضو مجلس بلدية مدينة تروي والمرشح لمنصب المير أو محافظ مدينة تروي. أي شخص عنده أي سؤال أو استفسار، تلفون راح يكون بأسفل الشاشة، ممكن الاتصال به. الانتخابات يوم نوفمبر 5 بشهر 11 2019. تفتح مكاتب الاقتراع أو من الساعة 7 صباحا إلى الساعة 8 مساء. أي شخص عنده سؤال لديف ممكن يتصل به ويسأله. طبعا هو صديق الجالية الكلدانية العربية الموجودة في ولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية. عندنا عدد هائل من أبناء الجالية يسكنون مدينة تروي، فنرجو ممكن التصويت إلى ديفيد يوم الانتخابات ونريد ينجح يعني إن شاء الله. I just encourage the people to vote for you on November 5th because you're a friend of our community and you're a friend of every community.
Every community.
But I see you very active with our community. I see you with a lot of people in our community, and you know, as a politician in your position, should not be specifically concentrated in one area, in one community. You represent everybody. Right. But because sometimes people, they feel comfortable dealing with certain person, and Dane, one of the people, we were very friendly to our community. Matt Pryor was very friendly. Right. Jean Stein, she was very good dealing with our community. I remember years ago when I was working with the city. So I mentioned if anybody have any question for you, and I encourage people to go and vote for you. And November 5th, in a couple of weeks, 12 days from today, hopefully we're going to attend the party,
yes,
or winning party.
Absolutely, winning party.
Winning party.
You know, my philosophy on embracing your community, my community. This is our community. Troy is my community.
Everybody's community.
I've been here since 1961. I embrace the diversity that Troy has become. My sister lives in the house that I was born in here in Troy. I went to Troy schools. My son lives here. I have four grandkids that go to Troy schools. We all commune together, and my heart is for the city of Troy. And I feel if you treat me fairly and I treat you fairly, you know, what is there to not like about life?
Yeah.
So.
2012, I ran for state rep to represent Sterling Heights, Utica, and Shelby. And some people from my community, they said, oh, this is one of their community. I said, no, I am part of the community, but I represent everybody in District 38. District 38 was the Sterling Heights, Utica, and Shelby. I said, when you are a politician, you're not going to go and represent the Middle Eastern community, the Indian community. You're going to represent everybody in your community. So you are being elected to represent everybody in your community, not only one community. Everybody is a community considered.
Right.
You know, that District 38 for me was my community. So I was running to represent everybody in Lansing. Hopefully, and I did not make it that time, but hopefully in the future, you know, when I run for another position, hopefully we'll make it. Dave, before we end the show, do you like to mention anything to our audience?
I just am. I'm humbled that people have elected me twice for city council, and I do the best I can at this job. This is sometimes a really easy job to do, other times not so easy. And I've always said this: if you know, everybody can make the easy decisions, but it takes somebody with the right temperament to make some of the tough decisions. And I think I have the right temperament, and I really appreciate the fact that the city of Troy has elected me twice and puts their trust in me to represent them. And I hope that we'll get 4 more years to do so.
I wish you good luck. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be back here. We'll call you Mr. Mayor.
Congratulate you.
We congratulate you in the front.
Yeah.
By the way, the CEO of the TV, Mr. Wali Jadan, he asked me to tell you The TV, it's open for you or any official in the city of Troy anytime. It's you're not obligated, but you are welcome to come to the TV anytime you want. He welcomes you and the city council and the city manager, whoever want to be in the TV anytime during the year, not only the election time. You have a message for the community, you want to give that message, you can bring it in. We can meet with the people of the city officials or head of the departments. You are more than welcome anytime. Wally is the office of the TV is in Troy,
Right.
so you want to become an outlet for the city too. So anytime
Very
you have
good.
anything,
Appreciate that.
you're more than welcome to come in.
Really good.
Thank you very much. I wish you
Thank
good
for
luck.
having me.
I wish you good luck.
My pleasure.
أعزائي المشاهدين، كنا مع السيد ديف هندرسون، عضو مجلس بلدية مدينة تروي والمرشح لمير مدينة تروي أيضا. الانتخابات بعد 10 أيام و12 يوم، يوم 5/11/2019. رجاء تصوتون للسيد ديف هندرسون، وإن شاء الله ينجح. وصديق الجالية العربية الكلدانية، ممكن أنه عن طريقه نستفاد من عندك كشخص. احنا ما عندنا أحد مرشح من أبناء الجالية لهذا المنصب، ونتمنى له الموفقية والنجاح. شكرا جزيلا، ونلتقي بكم إن شاء الله في الحلقة القادمة وضيف آخر، وإلى اللقاء وشكرا لإصغائكم.